This deck of cards happens to have its own story that is tragic. It's called the 52 cut tragedy, and it's a little bit of magic. But if I feel like starting, I would begin by getting rid of the only two jokes. Now, the story is about a card player who happened to be the luckiest guy in the world. He kind of looked like the four of diamonds, so he got started by having the deck under a spell. He once held a kingdom, but he wasn't content with the wealth. He wanted more, so he traveled into the center to see what he could find. He traveled past the 3 blocks of his apartment, over the crossroads at the city square. He kept going past a bridge that connects here to there, and after all of this, he found himself in cloud 9 and in love with a couple of brunettes, couple of redheads he met at 4 different clubs. But for some reason, 52 cuts later, all of this wasn't enough. He still wanted more, so he traveled into the center to see what he could find past the 3 blocks of his apartment, down the road to the crossroads at the city square. As I square the deck, he went over the bridge that connects here to there to see what's next. He came back, found himself again in a casino where he got 3 lucky clovers, which meant he got the jackpot, which means the game is over. But 52 cuts later, he felt sober. This was not enough. He wanted more, so he traveled into the middle to see what he could find past the 3 blocks of his apartment. Keeps going to the crossroads down at the city square, over this bridge that connects here to there, and after all of this, he found himself in a card competition with Antino Art. That happens to be me, so he competes with the same act and he scores not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 perfect 10s across the board. And the crowd was completely content, but he was not. He still wanted more. So he traveled into the middle. Actually, he's been there 3 times before. He asked the lucky 8 ball, should I keep going? And it said, of course. So he went to the first 7-Eleven store that appeared, which he robbed with a 44 Magnum for a 6-pack of beer, which he drank till 7 in the morning. Or was that 8? It was 8 in the morning. He lost track of the time. It was already the next day. He had to be to work at 9. But 52 cuts later, for some reason, he resigned and gave away what he had to a lucky 3. And that's to a card shark named Algin, a mentalist named Thomas, and I guess lucky me. So the best cards in the deck are the ones you never dealt, the cards you never saw, the hands you never held. He dealt away what he had till he had nothing, and that's the tragedy. But he said Algin is a lucky devil. The way you could tell is how he has a pair of 8s and a 666, the full house from hell. But he did not win. Thomas had the hand from heaven, which consisted of 2 9s and a 777. No sin, that's a church. But he didn't win, so the tragic part is to say that if he stayed till the end, he didn't run out of luck. I would have had the winning hand, which would have been the straight flush.